Hi, I'm Douglas Simonson. I'm a painter. I live in Mexico and I love to paint. I'm going to be sharing a time-lapse video with you today where I create a painting from start to finish. This one's a little different for me. It's an abstract. It started out as an abstract. It ended up being maybe not quite so abstract. You'll see. Anyway, I'll be explaining what I'm doing as I go along and giving you some painting tips. Okay, so if you're ready, let's go paint. When I need a change of pace in the studio, one of my favorite things to do is take a pencil and just start drawing lines and shapes on a blank canvas, just to see what might happen. Once I've got a composition that I like, I paint all those pencil lines with black paint. I don't just paint straight lines. I consciously vary the width of the line and the angle of the brush and even the amount of paint on the brush. Just anything to make the lines interesting and lively, and maybe a little unpredictable. Next, I paint over the whole thing with an acrylic wash, which is just acrylic with lots of water to thin it down. Here I'm using dioxazine purple with burnt umber. With a painting like this, where it's totally invented, I have to invent the color scheme too. I usually have some idea of what colors I want to use, but there's no logic to it. It's purely intuitive based on whatever I'm feeling or whatever's appealing to me that day. This kind of painting, where I'm just basically filling in the blanks with color, is a fun departure from my usual kind of painting, which requires a lot more attention and discipline. Here I can just play, although I still have to step back often to get far away from the painting and squint so I can see how all the parts are working together. That's one of the most important things you can do to produce better paintings, whether you're doing realistic work, abstract work, whatever. As you watch me add colors to the painting, I want to point out that what I'm really doing is adding values, lights and darks. A light blue and a dark blue, for example, can be completely different animals, while a light purple and a light green, if they're the same value, are like the same animal. Because when you get way back and squint, two colors that are the same value or nearly the same value will blend into one big area. That's something you might not even notice if you're thinking in terms of color, and I see it getting a lot of my students into trouble. So again, get back from the painting and squint so you can see how the lights and darks are working together. And that will help get you out of the trap of thinking that all you have to pay attention to is color. Because I've been painting for a long time and I've done a lot of this particular kind of painting, I have a pretty good sense where I need to put light values and where I need dark values. But when something's not working, the change I almost always need to make is to make a dark lighter or a light area darker. One of the things I do a lot of as I'm bringing a painting to completion is seeing dark areas and finding ways to get some light into them. That may not be true for some people. Some people may end up with a really light painting that needs some dark areas. But either way, a good composition is going to be an interesting balance between the darks and the lights. That yardstick you see me using there is not to make straight lines, it's to support my hand while I'm repainting some of the black lines so that my hand doesn't mess up the wet paint underneath. So it's a support. There's a name for it. It's called a mahl stick. M-A-H-L stick. And there's the final painting. It's called La Marea, which is Spanish for the tide. That's it. Thanks for watching. Now go paint!